When you get to a trade, if you follow these rules, you will never get played. Trying to play me like I'm stupid, boy, you better behave, cause I'm a dog. You don't want me to go back to my ways, huh? You don't want me to go back to my ways, huh? You don't want me to go back to my ways, cause I'm a dog. You don't want me to go back.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of the Rated MA Podcast. I am Tavares.
I'm Dabrian.
And I'm that bitch Blade.
And you already know the drill. Before we get started, go ahead and drop down in that description box and make sure you subscribe to the Rated MA Podcast page on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. What's going on with y'all? How y'all feeling?
Not a motherfucking thing. What's going on with you? You were trying to get oxy. Let's go.
Mike has been very hostile. In season 3, girl. So anyway, I was doing some thinking yesterday, and I was like, up until recently, I feel like I've never really dated correctly, one might say.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I also don't feel like none of y'all dated correctly either.
I disagree.
Well, let me tell you how you haven't.
Oh, shit.
Because I feel like, Blake, you stay in the dating phase. You never really make it to a relationship.
Baby.
But it's on me then.
Stop playing with me in the comments, sis. Stop playing with me in the comments. Oh.
Daybrin, I don't really know what you do, but
Ooh.
I was listening back to episode 1, and I think Daybrin got the people fooled.
Oh.
Daybrin really low-key is a fuck nigga.
Oh,
For real. And everybody be like, Daybrin is so romantic.
This is
girl,
the thing.
you lying.
For the audience, let me just.
Your
clear
stuff
this
is
up.
disguised. But they be giving me a hard time, but you really
let
don't
me clear this up because I feel like you trying to tarnish my image because you want to be a favorite. So
Bitch, he's a jaded bitch. He's a jaded girl.
I am a romantic, and I do crave romance and all of that. I'm just
All
like
of us
everybody
crave
else.
romance.
I'm no better than you or anybody else. I'm just saying, I do crave romance. You don't crave romance.
I do crave romance.
Oh.
I don't know.
No, I'm better than elite.
Huh?
I've always craved romance, but I need it from the right person. I'm not just going to accept it from anybody.
Oh, so you don't got the folks fooled then?
No. It's fooled how?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. You said I had the folks fooled.
You got them fooled.
How?
They don't be catching all your stuff. They just think you just this little bit nice guy.
I say it on here.
He is just a little bitty nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
And
but
he's much more hopeless romantic than you.
Definitely.
I just don't verbalize that part, but I think
Okay.
we have similar hearts as girls.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah. David wouldn't say half the shit that
I would not.
But he do it and he
I would
feel
not.
it.
I don't think so.
He might
I've never
feel
pissed in
it.
anybody's ass before.
Hold on.
Yes, David.
I never pissed in nobody's ass. That was
Bitch,
Blake
please.
got his ass pissed in.
Oh, you
I pissed him out.
Hold up. Time Wait for
Goddamn
goddamn minute,
mouth
bitch.
then.
Hold on.
Okay, that's
Nobody
worse.
pissed in your mouth?
Never. I would never.
That ain't the truth. The girls is trying
You
me to
everybody down.
They is trying me today,
I want y'all to let me
sweetie.
y'all truth.
Not
But
today.
anyway, so back to me. So my first...
And let's keep it on you.
Very bad.
Very me and my sister Lauren.
Right. Thank
My
you,
first
Blake.
boyfriend 10 years ago, we made it official after 7 days. And then my last boyfriend, which was 4 years ago.
You can't even keep a straight face. First of all, okay.
My last boyfriend 4 years ago, I met him on a Saturday. He told me he loved me the Tuesday, and then we moved in together 6 weeks later.
And how did those relationships go?
But I don't regret none of it. But as I mature...
Did you fight any of them?
We're going to come back from a commercial.
Sounds like a yes.
No.
We got our answer.
Right.
Both of them.
all children.
Both of them.
But
Both
anyway,
of them.
so in the new process of dating, there can be a lot of ego and learning and establishing boundaries. So if someone does something that you don't like or that you don't appreciate, do you do it back to them or do you just say that you don't like it? And I guess I'm more so speaking from the fact of like, say you kicking it with somebody for like 2 months consistently. You guys really like each other, you spending time, but you don't necessarily have a place in their life just yet to make certain demands. Like, how do you balance out that insecure part when they still doing things that you might not approve of? Like flirting in public or still flirting on social media or, still accepting dates from other
I'm
people?
very clear. I let them know because if you're not clear in the beginning, it'll get worse in the end, or towards the middle.
How do you let them know? And give me an example of a time you've done that.
Okay, and this is probably going to come off a little immature, but it was a time where I was dating somebody, and he wore like these jeans that I really didn't like. I didn't like them.
Okay. What were they, like skinny jeans?
Yeah, they were the ankles. They were like that tapered ankle, that real tight ankle.
Oh, like a cigarette leg.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you didn't like his style?
I didn't mind everything else.
Skateboardish.
Well, at the time it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't like those jeans on him, and I mentioned it. I said, I don't like when you wear those jeans, and you wear them a lot. So I'm just letting you know that it's like,
damn, David.
It's kind of like a thing.
Was it because he was showing his dick, or was he showing his ass, or you just thought the jeans were ugly?
I thought maybe the jeans were a little unattractive. They didn't compliment his shape. And I just
Tavares might have been right.
I feel like you probably thought it was just too cunt. You didn't like how it didn't fit on him.
Well, Lil Wayne wore them, so that wasn't.
That could have been it. I mean, it could have been. I'm just giving this example.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the full details, but I remember just straight up. We were maybe 2 weeks in, and I was just like, I don't like that.
Damn.
Yeah. So I just feel like if you don't voice it, you don't say it, you can't get irritated down the line when you guys been together for a while and they're wearing it all the time or whatever. And then you sitting there in your feelings about something so small, but you could have stopped it when you first started dating him.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think it's about, respect and love, the way you speak to the person, more so being like conversational and not confrontational. Mm-hmm. What about you, Blake?
I like to bring it up in jest. So let's say hypothetically speaking, but not really hypothetical because it's actual factual. I was on a date the other day, and the person I was on a date with decided to was people watching. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't see who he was looking at because the people he was looking at was behind me. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me turn my chair around so I can see what you see. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of sort of how I bring it up. Some people may call that passive aggressive.
Well, I don't understand what you were checking him on.
I like that.
On looking at other people when he with me.
He was looking and saying what?
He's people watching. I just see your eyes looking at other people, following other people. So I'm going to turn my chair around and say, let me see what you see so I can see it too.
Or did he get what you were trying to do?
He got it.
I like that you said that. I like that you presented it that way.
I'm passive aggressive.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that, and passive aggressive I feel like is being polite to your mate.
It is. I agree.
Yeah, but I think works. Men need like a hardcore like destination.
I just
maybe you do.
Well, they don't really check me on nothing. I'll be checking.
Well,
they should probably
take it back a little bit.
You know what? Let me. Remember
that time that boy smacked that food out your hand?
That was my boyfriend. That wasn't the day. And he didn't accomplish setting no boundaries with me. He
tried though.
He tried it.
Y'all ain't together no more. Boundaries.
And I didn't do nothing for him to warrant that.
You did. First of all,
you was chatty catty.
I'm not really trying to check you. I'm really not. I'm just for sake of argument, you mentioned that you don't introduce your people you date to people, and stuff like that. And if I recall the story, somebody was speaking to you or something like that, and you didn't introduce, and it was just like that.
It wasn't even enough time to introduce. We literally were sitting on the balcony at a bar. Mm-hmm. A gentleman that I've been knowing for 10 years plus passed by and just said, "Hey, Tavares," grabbed my elbow, gave me a hug, and kept it pushing. It wasn't even like enough to be like stopping and say,
but
"Hey." But
that goes to my point that he was with you for a certain amount of time, and clearly maybe he had a problem with people always being around you, and he's never been introduced to any of these people because that's been your history. Mm-hmm. So maybe had he spoke up in the beginning and said that he had a problem with that, then you wouldn't have got your food smacked out of your hand.
But if he wasn't also, maybe if memory serves me correctly, the boy had asked Tavares about it first, and did he tell you about it the first time, and then the second boy came around? He didn't smack your food out your hand the first time.
No, you mixing stories. You mixing the guy that I was talking to last year when I went to the club, and he walked up on me and my friends and was like,
that's a separate story.
No.
And mind you, so this seems to happen to you a lot. Because I remember another more recent story where you was walking in West Hollywood and somebody put their hands on you.
Because he don't introduce his dates to anybody.
And that's what causes the goddamn problem. So maybe if his dates start checking him early on.
Well, maybe if people be more direct and start talking up.
I don't know what you be wearing. What you be wearing to the club though, sis? Where people be grabbing on like that? You know I'm a messy bitch.
So anyway,
I told you I was passive aggressive.
No, I do remember somebody checking me with the most recent guy that I was talking to. When we first started dating, say we were like 2 months in. Well, no, say we were like 6 weeks in.
That's a long time for you.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
I changed. But he when I first met him, he was a horrible communicator. Would text back like a day or two later, and I definitely got a problem with that.
Oh, I hate that.
So one day we got on the phone, and I was like, I had mentioned it a couple of times, and he kind of dismissed it.
Yeah.
So probably like the third or fourth time I mentioned it, I was like kind of aggressive about it. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, I don't appreciate this, and you need to. And he was like, Tavares, I don't do all of that. Like, I respond well to ration. And he changed it. So I was like, okay. Like, I was operating differently than I was used to, so it was good.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
All because you had that conversation.
Yeah.
All because you got checked.
You know, you gotta make me respect you.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
But I think it's important early on to set boundaries with stuff that you don't like. Especially, I don't think you should worry about coming off as a nag or anything. Because the truth is, most guys don't like to be called out about anything.
Because it hurts their ego.
Yeah, but I think they low-key respect it, and they respect you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, don't call me out about shit I do, because I'm not going to respect you, and I'm not going to respect it.
If you're doing something somebody don't like, you don't want your nigga
well,
to
first of all, I don't ever do anything wrong, so that doesn't make any sense.
Have you ever been?
You never even think you're wrong, so that's probably a problem.
No, it's not that I don't think I'm wrong. I'm just never wrong.
But in a relationship, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about just.
I don't like that.
I have a good one though.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
With the most recent friend that I was getting to know, and where we had roadblocks is because his social media was very flirty.
Right.
And he would make those sex faces in his pictures. And
what's the sex faces?
The
duck lips.
Oh.
No shirt on.
You know, stuff like that.
The gay face.
You know, the gay face. But he was doing all these, like, I always told him he sells sex in his pictures. And he was like, well, his response to me was, and this is during our getting to know you phase, we started, which I never do, we started following each other on Instagram. I told him, I said, I don't follow people I date. And then he said, well, it's different. Don't even worry about that. Like, we mature. Come on. And I was like, okay. And he started following me, so I was like, I'll follow him back.
Okay, that's kind of cute.
So, and it was fine. Like, he was respectful to a degree, but he was very flirtatious with his posts. Every now and then it would be a shirtless pic, or every now and then, like...
But how was that flirtatious?
He was very, like, for lack of a better word, he was kind of, like, well-endowed. And it would show in his pants a lot in his pictures.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And so...
And that's what he was trying to show.
Yeah.
Well, obvi.
Okay. Yeah. And so, like, he had a couple pictures on the beach, and it was, like, there. And I'm just like, nigga, like, what are you doing? And,
thirst trapping.
And his response to me was... well, until you start taking me serious, I'm gonna do what I want. Like, you ain't trying to.
And I feel like that's the wrong response.
You ain't trying to. You don't look at me like you want to be with me like that. So I'm just gonna do me.
But
and
maybe part of the reason
I told him I want to look at you like I want to be with you, but you selling all this sex is not. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, you.
Maybe he was really trying to get your attention and not trying to get everybody else's.
But at this time when Daybrin mentioned it, it's like, well. It's kind of
cut it out. Yeah, and if I'm mentioning it, then it's and I told him, I said it makes me feel uncomfortable when you do that.
But then when he said to you, well, then until you take me seriously, was your response, I do take you seriously and I would like to get to know you, whoop to whoop to whoop to whoop.
But the problem was Daybrin didn't take him serious.
Oh.
But he still felt some kind of way.
I wanted to take him serious.
But it wasn't the pictures that kept you from taking him serious.
The pictures did not help his cause.
But nonetheless, you weren't going to take him serious no way, so why not post his thirst trap pictures?
But if your man told you that,
somebody
how would you
else
feel? Well, somebody that you were into, and that was their response, what would you say?
Like, my man?
No, like
just
a guy that you're dating who you're not with
yet.
Know. And you mention to him, hey, I don't like that you posting these sexy photos. And he say, well, until
I don't think that shit cute or whatever.
No, you wouldn't.
You know I like control. You know I like a nigga that's going to control me.
No, bitch.
Please, yes. I'm going to think it's cute. If you tell me not to post it no more, I'm not going to post it for a very long time. And now I know that's the thing that
you telling him, I don't like what you posting.
And he going to continue posting it?
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like that.
That was our problem.
But that wasn't actually the problem. The problem was you didn't like him, and he knew you didn't like him. So that's why he was doing what he was doing.
Daybrin liked the guy, but Daybrin was playing with the boy.
Exactly.
He was playing with him.
No, not
This was
like on
actually a
purpose.
very good man that Dabrian ran away.
A good man would have been good.
Tavares says
Drop his DM. Or his IG.
But I
whatever
also
kids
didn't
say.
agree with the boy's response.
right.
Because the boy was really into Dabrian, so if you really into me and I'm telling you I don't
No.
like that, you need to change it.
You need
But
to
the boy knows that Dabrian's not into him.
No,
So why not me call you out on like, oh, but you're not even into me like that. So until you are really into me, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, well,
but that's the thing. It's a what is it? It's a catch-22 because I wanted to be into him, but
the
he would
pictures-
do those things.
It wasn't just
Turn me
because you
off.
just weren't into him.
I wanted to be because he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Why weren't you into him? It was besides the pictures, because we know that it wasn't it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Was it the skinny jeans?
No,
Different guy.
he's a different guy. I don't know. I mean, there were little things that I could have overlooked. But I don't know.
He just won your back.
I think he probably.
He was
a good guy for somebody else. He wasn't good
He's
for
a good
you.
guy for somebody
He's
else.
definitely a good
I think
guy.
there was maybe a small window where
He's still single.
where Dabrian did like the guy. We seen him out
Right.
Thursday actually. Remember I said that's Dabrian Peace. He was all over some boy.
That's nasty. I don't know why everybody thinks that would bother me. I didn't.
No, well you didn't care about him. That's why I
Right?
wouldn't.
Yeah.
If
Hello.
you cared, you would be bothered.
He was texting me today.
I'm sure he was. He don't keep texting you.
Yeah, always.
He ain't gonna never get a chance. He gonna keep thirst trapping.
No, I don't want to. I don't play with people.
And first of all, David, you be out there thirst trapping too. But
Thank
come on,
you.
Tavares! I know Tavares gave me on half content. That's so
If y'all follow, well, he ain't short dude, big city no more. Now he's Dabrian O'Brien on
Barry.
Instagram. Oh, Barry girl.
First of all, here's the thing.
What?
I do those type of things when I'm not trying to get to know somebody and I'm not entertaining somebody. Those thirst trap pictures happened when I was single.
But do you take them down when you're not single?
I take them down when I feel like they've gotten too much attention. Because I get
So you
insecure.
just want to
He
kind
repost.
remind people that you still got it.
Put it in the story. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
still out here.
Yeah.
I guess back to the initial question. When you're not quite with the person, but you kind of like in transition from casually dating, like they might still have old pieces texting or still be moving a certain kind of way. Like, how do you manage your feelings? Or do you talk to that person
You
about
have a
the process?
conversation.
Yeah.
You have a conversation. You have a grown conversation, and I love this. And dudes don't do this so much anymore. I think the last relationship that I was in, we were texting, and then next thing you know, we were in a relationship. So I think what needs to happen and what I live for is that conversation. My ex in DC, the conversation we had, it was like this. We were sitting down and he was like, look, I know you were entertaining other people and stuff like that. I'm not, and I'm trying to like be with you. So I don't know how you feel about me, but I'm just letting you know where I'm at with it, and I want to really get to know you, and I'm hoping that you will cancel those other dudes and we can take it from there.
And this is about how far in, like how long?
This was maybe 3 weeks in.
Okay. So then what happened with that?
That's the one we lasted for like 3 years.
So after the 3 weeks, and he said that he was like,
after he said that, then I cut off those people. I texted one guy. I was talking to a guy in Atlanta, and I was like, I met somebody, and this is where we going with it. And he was like,
do
okay,
you feel like
I'm
it's
that.
important to have that transition time in order to let current pieces fall
For
off?
sure.
Because I feel like too often gays jump in it in 2 weeks, and then you still got all this
Well,
lingering.
see, you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to be realistic with the people that you've built on your roster.
Right.
So if you say, for instance, you've been dating, you've been cutting up or whatever, then you, out of that roster that you have, one of them makes the cut, and you're like, I want to take this person serious now. You can't just because you decide that day or that week that you are going to be serious with this person. Let everybody know that it's a wrap. Don't hit me up no more. Because it's like you just got slayed by this other person yesterday.
Right.
So I think that you have to be realistic in the sense of taking your time with the person that you're getting to know.
Right.
Don't just jump into it because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to going to want answers. Not only that, and not that you owe them answers, but it might behoove of you to supply them with answers because what happens is people start to talk.
Right.
And you get into this relationship with this said person, and then now you're out in the streets with this said person, and then this other person that you was just fucking maybe close with somebody that knows somebody that's dating you.
That sounds long and messy.
No, but what I'm saying is, all it takes is that, well, they go together because I was just fucking him yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you.
I
Just
think
have to
if you find yourself to start to fall for somebody, it should be like this. Hey, I like you, you like me. What does being exclusive look like to us? And then when I had this conversation with my last boo or whatever, it was like, what? What's funny?
No, I'm just.
Oh, okay. I didn't get the
They were laughing too. When I
anyway,
I don't know. I'm just waiting on you. I'm waiting for the punchline.
I said, turn my mic off. I said, what does cutting your hose off look like? How much time do you need to let bitches know like you about to be off the market? And
That's so aggressive.
Well, I'm giving you the cliff notes.
Okay. No, that's not the cliff notes, baby. That's verbatim.
I said it a little softer, but I definitely said, yo, bitches know. Yeah. And, you know, he was like, if they hit him up here, let him know. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I like time and distance. So like what I like to do is if I'm getting serious, if I'm dating multiple guys and I start to get serious about one guy, I'm not going to voluntarily reach out to all the other guys unless they hit me up. I'm not going to say like, oh hey, by the way, I'm starting dating such and such. Oops,
but if they hit you up, will you?
If they hit me up, no, I'm gonna just ghost you.
Okay, I kind of like see when you ghost them and kind of leave it open ended. I kind of
it does, and I like my options open. So if that shit don't work out, guess what?
You can't have that mentality. You got to go into.
I'm gonna be.
Okay, how this working out for y'all?
I'm gonna let him
Single
know.
bitches.
I'm gonna let him know that I'm involved because I'm gonna make sure I let my nigga know that he needs to tell these people that he's involved.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And I can
still let my nigga
you
know
want
that
me
he
to
needs
tell him or you want to tell him? That's how I tell him.
Oh,
of course.
Not doing that.
Of course, Tavares, that's how you do it.
But no, we had another situation.
Oh shit! How many situations?
I'm talking about in the interim of like dating, but still kind of catching feelings. So, one holiday weekend at the club, and you was there that day.
I was.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But I was just saying to myself, I don't really know who he hang with, and I don't know like how he act when he go to the clubs and stuff. But there. I would love to see him out with his friends without him knowing that I'm there. Mm-hmm. And one day I was leaving the bar with another friend. We were about to catch an Uber home because it was like 9:00 at night, and I had been at the bar since like
2,
maybe like 6.
Oh, okay.
So as I was waiting for the Uber, Bae walked up and was like, "Oh, who told you could be at the house?" Like, joking. I like
cute.
that.
But when I like a controlling nigga, it's a problem.
No, I don't mind it. Listen. So anyway, we, said hello, whatever, and he walked back in the club, and I told my homeboy, "Oh, I'm about to go back in, see what the fuck going on."
Mm-hmm.
So I had them walked in, find me a little corner. It don't never be no seats in this particular club, but it wasn't nothing but the Lord who provided a chair that was open, in the cut.
The Lord did that.
The Lord did it.
Mm-hmm.
Or Satan.
So I'm chilling, laying low, whatever. I don't know if you're gonna hear this episode, but whatever. And he was at the bar, getting his drinks or whatever. He was clearly feeling it. And then, he came with his lesbian homegirl and they was dancing and carrying on cool. So then he started like dancing with some little punk.
Oh, like why he had to be over that?
No, some little queen.
Why he got to be over that?
Because Tavares know him. Tavares met the queen.
Some little queen,
Ooh.
face to face. They was kind of like nose to nose, like clearly intoxicated, but like singing song lyrics and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck going on? Like my heart is beating. I'm like, I'm ready to
go over and break it up.
No, I watched a little bit.
Oh,
and I was
that's
like, okay,
wrong
cool.
for you.
But I was feeling like very like I don't know how to handle this because it triggered me because my ex-boyfriend was like super disrespectful in the club. Kelvin, the one that was on last season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sat there for a little bit and then you walked over to me and was like, "Oh, Rage is about to be closed because it's free before 11. Do you want to hit it over there?" So I said, "Well, I'm trying to process some things right quick, so give me a minute." And you said, "Who did it? Do we need to jump?" Mind you, Blake drunk. But I know she gonna rock.
Okay.
I said, "I'm not sure yet, actually."
Bitch.
So long story short, I probably watched for like a cool 3 minutes, and then he ended up looking my way and caught my eye, and we caught each other, and I just shook my head like, mm-mm. So I got up and I was hitting it. And
so when you shook your head, what he do with the boy after that?
As soon as he seen me, he straightened up and went back to dancing with old girl.
Oh, okay.
So
that's respectful.
Yeah.
But however,
comma. So I ended up getting up and I was walking out and he had grabbed me. He was like, "Oh, come dance with me." I was like, "Oh, I'm about to go. Like, good night." And I was in my motherfucking feelings. So I had to went to the next club, couldn't concentrate, bitch, was there for about 20 minutes and I had to go home and lay down.
Oh my God.
My nerves was bad.
You should have went and danced with him and then and then talk your shit while y'all was dancing.
No, fuck that. Because I need you to hear me when I talk my shit. Fuck the music. Turn this shit down.
So did you have a conversation with him afterwards?
Yes. So I get home. It's about 12 o'clock, say. Nerves bad. Laid down. Couldn't sleep. So then about 3 a.m. I was like, you know what? If it's on my lung, it's on my tongue. So I had called him, and I figured he was drunk and he wasn't going to answer, so he didn't answer. So I sent him a voice note, because I'm like, I got to get this off my chest so I can sleep.
Oh, my God.
So I pretty much was like, you know what? This has been fun.
Listen, if I can't sleep tonight, you can't sleep tonight. We both up.
Yeah. I said, you know, it's been fun. I was like, I really don't like a flirt. And, you know, I'm not trying to control nobody, so I'm going to just let you go ahead and do your thing, and I'm going to bow out gracefully. So then I went to bed. So then... like 5 a.m. my phone ringing and it's him. Now, mind you, I was expecting a text back like, okay, cool. And I would have been okay with that. Mm-hmm. You know, I was actually operating. Okay. No, I was operating from a place of fear. And not like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So he called me and he was like, what are you talking about? I said, you got my message, right? You heard me? Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm not letting you leave me alone that easy.
Oh, and you love that shit, bitch. You melted.
It was a total response opposite from what I'm used to.
Baby,
he was mature.
You ate that shit up.
And he was like, you know, if you have a problem with anything that I'm doing, like, I just want you to talk to me, like, we could figure it out. Oh. And he was like, you know, once we reach a certain level of, or a certain, you know, a certain period of dating, all of those things naturally fall off and the flirting stops and so on and so forth. I said, listen, I don't like my niggas dancing on niggas in the club. Like, I understand if you got a friend that you came with, that's cool, but...
still unacceptable.
Yeah, not face-to-face, nose-to-nose, but you need to be shoulder-to-shoulder.
Hello? Bitch, it ain't no neck to nose either.
So he was like, you know, I just like to dance and have a good time. And I said, listen, you dance with the bitch you came with and them fags, you could leave them... Excuse my language, I know we all gay, but... I said, them punks, you could leave...
Oh, okay.
You could do...
But don't excuse that language.
Right. Oh, my God.
You know, I'm not with none of that. So he understood. So... Anyway, it's all about setting boundaries.
Moral of the story.
Is this the same nigga?
Same as what, girl?
I don't know. Just the same nigga, Frank. God damn.
I mean, you act like I just be liking so many people. I don't be connected with that many people. That I really be into.
What's the thing? Even your voice cracked. Bitch,
I don't know what y'all giving.
Bitch, please. Who be into more niggas, me or you?
You.
Bitch, you a motherfucking shit.
But you always in a situationship.
Ooh, not a situationship friend?
Yes.
Situation?
I thought you never missed a
Why you do that?
That's why we with your blonde ass doing blonde hair shit. That's why I can't keep no nigga. Ooh.
Blake always, but that's not a bad thing. Blake always likes somebody.
I really do be in tough like with these niggas.
He do be into it. I feel like it's time for you to grow up though. Ooh. Even though you're older than me.
Oh my God.
Jesus, baby. The girl is coming
You're
to me.
so messy.
The girl is coming to me. She's whipping. I'm gonna let her have her night tonight though. I'm gonna let her have her night.
Oh my God.
She's trying to get renewed for a second. She's trying to get picked up. She want to make sure her contract gets solidified. I'm her storyline. Right. Girl need a storyline. Pick me, bitch.
Do you guys think that it's healthy to argue?
Yes.
Why not?
I mean, what are we arguing about? Like, what is there?
Whatever. Things you don't agree on. You two different humans coming together from different experiences. Why wouldn't there be some friction?
Because I'm grown.
Well, a strong, what do you call it? A strong debate or like... It ain't got to be cussing.
A healthy debate.
Yeah.
Where there's no raising of the voices.
Not calling nobody out their name.
Nobody being disrespectful. You just have disagreement.
What do you and Bae disagree on?
We don't, well...
Because I'm sure even if you don't address certain problems, you probably have problems with him about certain things. So how do you handle that?
First of all, I'm always right. So we have to remember that, right?
Does he know that?
He does. It doesn't even matter. Like, I'm always right. So if ever I brought something to your attention it's factual. Like, I don't bring, like, trivial things where it's, like, a difference in opinions.
Yeah.
Like, if we differ in opinions, I respect that you have a different opinion than me and I have a different opinion than you. There's nothing to even have a conversation about. But if we're arguing about, we're not going to argue about the sky being blue and you're going to tell me it's green.
No,
I'm like, no, it's
you
blue.
can have a different opinion about something, but it still needs to be some resolve. Everything is not an agree to disagree.
I don't know if we have a difference of opinion. I know we just have a difference of opinion. We don't have to come to the same opinion. I just respect that your opinion is not mine and mine is not yours.
So what if y'all view relationships differently?
Then
what if he comes to you and say, what if you already...
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Yesterday he said to me, cheating is not a deal breaker for him. Okay. And I said to him, oh, it's a deal breaker for me. Okay. That was it. In the conversation. There's no argument.
My question to him would have been, so you think if you cheat that I'm not going to leave you?
See, but why are you picking? I already said no.
For him to say that, I don't know which way he's coming from.
Okay, well, first of all, this is my man. You don't need to know.
I'm looking up for
point there. But no, because I expressed to him that, hey, it is a deal breaker for me.
And did he make a face or?
No, that was the end of the conversation. He said it's not a deal breaker for him.
He's very mature.
He is.
Do you think he's been cheated on before?
I'm sure he has. We all have. And I'm sure he's probably cheated.
So you've known him 10 years and you haven't asked these questions?
I don't need to ask these types of questions because the other bitches ain't me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you. Roll the fuck up. Bitch.
What would your follow-up have been to this man, David?
When he said that...
well, first of all, let's not use my man. Hold up, Rated MA. First of all.
For a guy to say that, it's not that for me either, though.
Okay. Oh, cheating is not a deal breaker for you?
It's not if we can discuss it and if there's some dialogue around it.
Oh yeah, because your last boyfriend cheated on you.
Yeah.
Because he got the STD and you kept him.
Oh. All y'all niggas cheated. Bitch, all y'all say, bitch, you looking for a storyline. He said this on the show last week.
I did not say that.
On the STD episode, you said, my last boyfriend came home, gave me an STD, and I was giving him fever for about 2 weeks. And I said, did you keep him? You said, yes. I said, okay. It's the truth. Okay.
Well,
ooh. Oh, I should also say that the man did tell me, he was like, cheating is not a deal breaker because people cheat for different reasons. Sometimes it's not about me, it's about that person. They're doing it for validation, and depending on the reason that they did it, it wouldn't be a deal breaker.
Right. I do think that arguing is healthy, and I think if you're not arguing...
Do you think fighting is healthy too?
No. I think if you're not arguing, girl, somebody's lying, and I'm not fighting no more.
Oh, okay. But you're still arguing.
No, actually, I haven't argued with the last guy. We had one blowout.
Okay, so you went from 9 to 1.
No. It wasn't arguing because I was just saying what I had to say.
Maybe 3.
And hang up.
You're not putting your hands.
So you child.
You're not putting your hands on people no more.
No. And to be clear, people put their hands on me first, and then I just finish it. I don't believe in touching men.
Yeah. Like the new you, not the old you.
No, I never started nothing.
The old you, the one that...
I never started nothing.
San Diego, you slashed his tires or cut up his car or something?
I didn't start that.
You didn't start that?
He played with me.
What you have? Your emotions?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He hit my heart. So I had to touch his vehicle.
And you had to steal it too.
Girl.
Since we're talking about on episodes, remember that, bitch.
Anyway, I had some interesting conversations this past weekend. So Friday I went to one of my friend's house and we was like drinking champagne and chilling. And somehow, we was talking about niggas and stuff. And I was just like, I really do think it's important to have a friendship with your partner. Like a genuine friendship and genuine interest.
For sure.
And I was like,
I agree.
I said, but at the same time, I think it's certain things that you should talk to your best friends about and not me.
Amen.
And he was like, well, I don't agree with that. Like, you should want to talk to him about everything. And I said, well, for instance, like, me and my guy was talking one day on the phone, and he was like, he was at Coffee Bean, and he was like, oh, this nigga cute in here. I said, don't get that comfortable with me. And he was like stuck, and I'm like, yeah. Like, you can do that with your friends, but I'm not here for that.
Yeah, I don't play that. I don't like that.
We could say Trey Songz is cute on TV, or, a bitch, but a bitch that you can get to, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So and what did he say when you told him not to say that to you?
He took it.
Oh, so it wasn't an argument.
No, why would it be?
It was a difference in opinion.
He
didn't say nothing.
He's a pretty reserved type, from what I gather.
Yes and no. He ain't no punk. But anyway, what do y'all think about that?
I don't play that. I don't like that.
Like, do you want to know everything from your partner, or do you think there's certain things that they should just talk
No,
to
I don't want to know
about?
everything, but I also think that there are certain things, there's a level of respect. And,
For sure.
If you say something like that around me, then you don't respect me like I feel like I should be respected. So now I'm questioning us.
Because I feel like if you give him an inch, then what you gonna tell me next?
Exactly.
Oh, this nigga got a fat ass, or he look like he
You
got a
just
big
gonna
dick,
say
like,
anything
what?
around me.
No.
And I need to question who you are being with me if you talking like that around me.
Hello.
Yeah. Now, me and my friends, like, we'll send stuff back and forth on IG all day or in a group text, like, oh, this nigga fine. Like, I give him all these babies, but I'm not gonna talk
But what if
about
your
him like
man
that.
saw that conversation with
I
your
don't think he
homegirls?
should. Because it ain't even nobody that we know or nothing.
Oh, bitch,
It's
please.
just like Instagram models.
So, you can still touch them hoes.
Can.
Okay, bitch, please. For $150, they all escorts. For $150. $200 if you want that day.
Anyway, so then... so then I had dinner
We don't
on...
discriminate the escorts because
I
we
know.
have escort listeners.
I had dinner on Saturday, and we were talking about some kind of TV show, and the topic of, like, open relationships came up. But not even just open relationships, it's more so, like, how honest do you want your man to be with you? So the general consensus at the table was, you know, if my man finds somebody attractive and he wants to introduce something, I'd rather him have a conversation with me. And I said, you know what? I don't know if I've reached that level of maturity.
You haven't.
I said, I wonder if... I had to actually question myself, like, would I rather him just do his thing and keep it away from me and I just not find out about it, as opposed to talking to me about it? And I haven't really come up with an answer yet.
Or could he just not do it?
Well, of course not do it, but
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Ignorance is bliss to me.
So if he was interested in opening up the relationship, would you want him to talk to you about that?
I would want him to approach me about it first.
But then how do you think you would feel about that? I mean, I know...
I'm not going to fuck with it, and if he's adamant about it, then we're not going to be together.
So would you want him to be that honest with you, or would you rather him just do it?
I would want him to be honest with me.
And what about?
Because, you know, we accept the love that we think that we deserve, and if that's the type of relationship he's trying to have, then I'm not trying to be with him.
But he's honest. You gotta respect it.
Yeah, and I love that, and I respect that, and we can be cool, but we can't be together, because I'm not into that.
Yeah. What about you, Blake?
He
Comes
just
to
needs
you
to not
open
do
and
it.
honest. And he said,
No.
listen, I've been having feelings. I think the neighbor is cute. And I was getting vibes at the gym. What do you think about us?
I'm probably gonna dump him.
Same.
Like right there.
Just from the conversation.
Just from the conversation, it's over. Like, cause if he's my man, like he knows me and he knows that shit's gonna be
Exactly.
unacceptable.
But you do want him to be his authentic self and tell you
I
his
do,
thoughts.
Yes,
and that's
sure.
it. It's over. He's not the man for me.
Yeah. That's how I look at
Done.
it.
Because even
We're
if
not
I tell
matched.
him no, there's gonna be a time when he gonna act on his feelings.
And the fact that I told you no, now I'm going to be
Yeah,
looking at
and
you
now I'm not
differently.
gonna trust you.
Right.
I'm going through your phone at night. No, the shit's keeping me up at night. It's stressing me out. Tavares, go ahead,
from a conversation.
bitch. I'm stressed. The fuck out, bitch. I'm drinking. He done drove me to drink.
So you wouldn't be passive aggressive that time. You would be like, nigga, you got me fucked up.
No, I wouldn't say you got me fucked
wouldn't
up.
be
I
like
would check
that.
out. I would check out of the relationship. The relationship
I would
is
check
ended.
out.
Like,
So you would
I'm
just
not
pull away, or would you be like, you know what? Even the thought of you bringing this up to me is not working for me.
Actually, you're probably right. I think the conversation would look more like, yeah. So I think you should probably handle that and go back and go grow. And if you come back to me, then maybe we're meant to be. But if not, I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
Now,
spread
what
your
if he
wings.
said,
I'm done.
You know what? I respect your opinion, and I'm not going to do it. Would you believe him?
Nope.
Really?
I don't think I would either. Because you
Somewhere down the
you
line,
mustered up the courage to even bring it up to me.
yeah. And
So
somewhere down the line,
it
you
was
gonna
in
act
there.
on that. You gonna do something. What about you, Tavares? What if your current situation ship?
Shit.
I'm not built like that.
You not been like
I'm not that mature.
Oh, so we
all
all agreeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never happened.
But I've thought about it recently. Like, this is my dilemma with it, and I haven't really reconciled my feelings with it. But part of my problem with quote unquote open relationships is that I feel like men, gay men specifically, use it as an excuse to just not be faithful, as to say like, we're not supposed to be monogamous or whatever. And my thing is, I've never really had like a long relationship yet, so don't talk to me a year in about spicing it up.
Right.
Like, wait till we have a solid 5 years of a stable relationship before you even muster up the thought. Then I might think about it, but right now I'm like, I'm not on
The
it.
thing is, it works for so many people, and I've realized
Does it?
It works.
I don't think so. And most people, to be honest, that I know who've had an open relationship and who are honest and legit about it was like, you know what? That was actually the worst thing I could have done. It was like Pandora's box.
But I know some people who it works and it's been working pretty well for
I know
them.
one couple that are our friends.
Yes.
That's it.
It works really well for them.
I know people who have been in open relationships and it still ain't work. And I said, and I literally said, why didn't it work? Because they were openly open. And he was like, well, he violated the terms of our openness.
Oh, what
and
is
I'm
that?
like, damn, like.
Now, what is that?
You know?
If I say that, like, okay, it can be an open relationship, but we both have to be present.
Yeah.
And then you fucking some nigga on the side and
Or
I'm
I
not
have to
present.
know who the person is.
Yeah, like, whatever it is. I honestly also think, okay, so another school of thought is maybe I could go along with it if, like, I don't know, if I could go along with it, but be the bigger whore.
You know what my biggest fear with that is I think sometimes men muster up the courage to ask you certain things, but I really feel like if I let them do what they want to do and then I decided that I wanted to participate the way that you do, they wouldn't be able to handle it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, why let's
And that's the thing too.
And that's why I would be the big whore, because I want to show you exactly what you're getting and what you're asking me for, and let me show you what I can do. Because whatever you can do, I know I can do it better.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too, because I know if it, not that I would ever evolve into that. I hope I don't.
Yeah.
But if I was ever in that type of relationship, you don't want me in that type of relationship because I'm going to cut a fool. So are you ready for...
Especially if you out here in the streets, you making me look stupid.
Yeah.
Like every time we go out, you in another nigga's face, I'm going to be in everybody's face.
Yeah.
And I'm not the type of bitch to ask for nobody's phone number. I'm not the type to initiate. Like, but I'm going to initiate shit on the strength of...
And you don't want me to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be disrespectful.
I'm going to be petty. It's your homeboy, it's your brother, it's your daddy.
Yeah.
It's your own. I'm going to the family reunion in all of my booty shorts.
Yeah. You don't want
ass hanging out or basketball shorts, whichever your family's into. I'm with the shits today. Hoop shorts and J's, bitch, I got them.
I have a set in the trunk.
Okay, and a fitted. Let's go. Daisy Dukes, biker tights, got it too.
J set outfit.
Okay, so we have 2 listener questions. One guy says, me and my boyfriend have been exclusive for 3 months now, and he still has my name saved as the name he put me in from when I met him at the bar.
Bitch, it's only been 2 months.
They've been exclusive for 3 months, and he hasn't saved him under his real name. So I guess it must be like Bob from Trunks. Do you have a problem with that? Your boyfriend now does not have your real name stored.
Yes. I feel like you're not fully invested.
I think that's shady as well.
Yeah, that's a little shady.
I probably...
What you would do?
I mean, I'll probably just take his phone and correct it.
No, but then again...
Bitch, it's only been 2 months.
It's weird, too. Because I had chatted with a guy, and I kind of liked him. I liked him enough that I should have remembered his whole full name or whatever. But the thing is, he gave me a fake name. So I went along with that fake name, only to find out that his real name was something else. But I was like, I'm going to just save him.
When I used to meet guys, I would give them a fake name.
Yeah.
I would give them a fake name, and I had somebody go off on me, and my Google number.
Did you give him Jason? The name that's on your coffee, right here in front of me.
Didn't.
Oh my god!
And I only use Jason because
Baby.
My name got too many syllables, and I don't feel like them saying what and how you spell it. No.
I hate that. I do that every day.
Jason, girl, that's it.
Every day.
But one time I was dealing with this guy. He was a little fuck buddy, and I guess I was running late to his house, and he decided to call me and see where I was. And of course, you know, with a Google number, it's like, oh, say your name at the thing. So when I got in the house, he was hot, and he was like, all of this time we've been fucking, and I don't even got your real number. And I was like, well, why does it matter? Every time you hit me, I hit you back, so what's the difference? But he was...
And we're just fucking.
Yeah, I didn't...
I mean, I get it. How long y'all was fucking?
A few months.
You was fucking him wrong coming in. That was the problem.
Oh.
Okay.
That was not it.
That was definitely it, bitch. If you fucking him wrong coming in, then give him your real fucking phone number.
He was in his feelings.
Hello? In case something happens, he got to contact the fucking
But
city.
it's not like I'm not giving you my name. It just never came up.
It just never came up, but the cum did.
Oh shit!
I don't understand the question.
Oh, okay. Anyway. So then
you was not.
No, girl. I heard.
So anyway, so here I also
Should
got
he
another
have
question.
some kind of way?
I also got another question. So how does he have everybody else stored in his phone? Like if he has everybody stored in his phone, first name and last name, and then he just has your name stored as something completely different. Not even to your situationship?
No, not to store it in the phone. Like You know how sometimes you meet people and you be like, oh, my name is Tavares, put me in. They be like, what's your last name? I'm like, why? How many Tavares you know?
Bitch, a couple of them, and you don't want to get confused with those girls.
Put the dark skin one, or it's the way I met you at. I'm not giving you
no. Mm-mm. So everybody in my phone is first and last name. So when I first meet somebody, I put their first name and how I met them in parentheses. And then when I feel close enough to you then I go back and I edit out and I put your last name with your first name.
Yeah.
Because I like first and last names.
I get that.
So now if he just has everybody stored as like, first name, place he met, I mean, then it's no tea. Like, everybody stores people differently in their phones.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where you were dating somebody or you had a boyfriend and you and the best friend of the boyfriend didn't quite vibe? And does that stress the relationship?
Oh, wait. Go ahead. Like, the person you're dating and their best friend, y'all don't click.
Yeah. And does it matter or no? Do you think it...
Well, first of all, everybody like me.
I was going to say, I honestly...
Like, why would you like me?
All of my exes, their best friends love me. Now, I'm the best friend that didn't like some of my friends' boyfriends.
And do you think that played a role, or it didn't really matter or affect anything?
It didn't matter. It didn't affect anything because I'll let you as my friend know I don't fuck with him. We got history, but it's cute for y'all.
Do you think whoever the mutual party is should tell either of the other party that neither one of y'all fuck with each other?
Well, I'll give you an instance. A friend that we both know was dating somebody who the person he was dating prior to that person was trying to holler at my ex, and it was a messy situation.
Right.
So when my friend and that boy started dating, my friend was like, I know, you and him have history, but that nigga you was dating was a fuck nigga, and you only got his side, so y'all need to make up. Y'all need to squash that. And I was like, I'm not squashing it because y'all dating.
Right.
I can be cordial, but I'm not squashing it because y'all dating. Make a long story short, he begged and begged and begged that we speak, because I would always enter a room and never speak to the boy, and I would just not acknowledge the boy. So I finally got to a place where I was like, I'll acknowledge him. I'll at least say hi.
Right.
So I started saying hi, and just saying hi. That was it. Then they stopped dating. They had a nasty fallout. They broke up. I was not told this. I show up at an event. The boy is there, and I say hi. The boy act like he didn't want to speak to me. So now I'm mad because I'm like, I never wanted to fucking speak to you anyway, and I just spoke to you out of respect for my friend.
One of my closest friends, for whatever reason, with this particular friend, I don't like none of his boyfriends. I think everybody he picked is trash to me.
Damn.
Are you secretly in love with his best friend?
Hell no. I just don't like the way that they treat him, because he's such a nice guy, but they take advantage.
He talking about me, y'all.
Well,
shit. So anyway,
I told you the girl is reaching for a story.
No, anyway,
she's trying to pick up for another season.
But my friend would always mention, like, my friend would ask me my opinion, and I would tell him, and then he would tell his boyfriends, "Oh, Tavares don't like you," and I think that's messy. Like, that is messy. Why create unnecessary tension?
That's messy.
Like, they don't have to know how I feel about them, and I don't want you to tell me that they don't care for me either.
No, that's messy.
That's open and honest.
And just like that person, your friend shouldn't be telling his boyfriend anything about your business that you share with him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But what if the conversation went like, so like every time I'm around, like your homeboy Tavares, he don't speak to me, and I mean, I just feel like no, bitch, I'm gonna be open and honest. Oh, but that bitch don't care for you.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do it either.
Why not?
I don't think I would do that.
I think whoever the mutual party is up to you to be a man about the situation. And
I'm not caring about it. It's just like he don't care for you, and here's why. And then if you want to fix it, then you fix it. Like, why not have an open and honest conversation? Why start a relationship, or why enter into a relationship on a line?
Or if I have a boyfriend whose best friend or whoever don't really care for me, and you tell me that, I'm never gonna like him. So I don't give a fuck what we talk about.
I'm like that too.
But can't you just sit down and have a conversation with them and get past it?
I'm still not gonna fuck with you. I'm still gonna.
But maybe if it's just a misunderstanding.
Why you don't like me, bitch? I don't even know you.
Right.
You might know him.
I might not.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's part of the reason he does not like you.
I don't know.
It's because you were probably introduced to him and then you forgot who he was, and the second, third time.
But you know what? I will say, with my particular friend whose boyfriends I don't really care for, I do always have the attitude of, well, you just passing through and I'm going to be here. But if I was on,
I don't like
if I was on the opposite side of that,
yeah.
I wouldn't appreciate.
But
that.
I don't like when people do that.
So his boyfriends don't like you for a reason, and you take that attitude, and then he brings it up to his boyfriend and says, "Oh, your friends have already something's up with him. I don't like him. What's going on?" Da 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 da. And he be like, "Well, he just doesn't like you."
I don't give a lot to people's boyfriends. So even if I don't care for you, I'm not gonna never have that attitude towards you.
Me either.
But if you tell me, "Oh, my bestie don't like you," then bitch, we got a problem forever.
Yeah.
Cardi B.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't give a lot of energy to my friends.
Yeah, I don't even engage.
I won't even. You may get a hot.
That shouldn't even be a conversation between the friend and the boyfriend.
And that's it. And
if my friend came to me and said, "Hey, Blake, my boyfriend thinks you do not like him," or "My boyfriend does not like you," when the next time he brings that boyfriend around, because of my respect and my admiration and adoration for that best friend, I'm going to go above and beyond to make that boy feel welcomed. Whether or not he just passing through.
I'm not going to do that.
I ain't doing it either.
Shit.
Like, there's no reason for me to speak to your boyfriend at all.
Oh, no.
Right. So it's like,
when you see him, mum is the word.
So what is there to speak about?
I mean, yeah.
And it's up to you to keep that, like, line drawn.
Sure.
But if you a weak nigga and for some reason we have to exchange words.
And that happens.
It happens more often than you think. I'm tired of weak ass mutual friends.
My ex used to not want to be around my friends because he felt like their vibe was that they didn't like him. They didn't know him like that to engage with him. They didn't want to engage with him. They felt like he was a different type of nigga than the type of niggas they was used to being around. And I used to always tell him, they don't have a problem with you. But he would always say, I just be feeling weird when I be around.
But I feel like you probably would tell your friends, like, he don't really know if y'all like him.
No, I didn't. Oh. I didn't. I would never. I never did.
But if this is somebody you see yourself being with in a long-term relationship, is it also your responsibility as the middle person to make sure that all parties get along?
Yeah, but you should be cognizant of what you're saying to each party too.
Yeah,
I wasn't create unnecessary.
But I wasn't
like you bring them together.
Anything. I was just always bringing him around so that everybody could just vibe.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, if they're not vibing organically and they don't like him, but this is your husband to be.
Yeah.
Like these people are going to be in your wedding and at your wedding.
Yes.
It's my duty and my responsibility. Like if this is a man that's going to be in my life and y'all are going to be in my life, I have that responsibility to make sure y'all can come together and all love one another or respect one another. And I just need you to know that, like, okay, the vibe that they're giving, yeah, you might not be feeling it, but it's not directed towards you. Oh, I just need you to know that the thing that y'all do, like, he really not into that. So when he's off in a corner and aloof, and I even have to do that with friends. Sometimes when you get, like, two different groups of friends together, and one group is catty,
right.
Like, let's say Tavares.
I'm not going
Bitch, tonight, you bring that girl around and she's a bit much. And then, you have some more subdued people like myself. And I might take offense to his behavior. But if you had Jabrin in there, like, no, this is this, he didn't mean nothing by that. Whoop, 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 hood.
Yeah.
The only time I've been in that situation was with my last boyfriend. His mom didn't like me.
This bitch had a lot of boyfriends, y'all.
2 boyfriends, girl.
It's still 2.
Hold on, 2. What 2? The one 10 years ago and the one 4 years ago?
Yeah. And then my first love, but we wasn't in a relationship. That was somebody else, man.
That's your first love.
Okay, hold on, time out. So, can I count them? The bitch is getting choked up. She didn't say my bitch count. The bitch is getting choked up.
And don't say that name.
But I can say Kelvin's name, right?
Kelvin is one from 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago or 4 years ago?
That was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Oh, okay.
Louisiana was 4 years ago.
Okay.
So the one that smacked the food out of your hands, that's
4
not
years
a boyfriend.
ago. That was my boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
That was Louisiana?
Yeah.
And then this one, the current one.
We're not together. What's the question?
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, so you have a lot of niggas, you just don't make it to relationships. Oh, you spoke to them on my life.
Everybody.
You spoke to them on my life, but bitch, that's your teeth.
No, girl, I don't be
Two
dating.
niggas, 10 years.
I don't date aimlessly. If we into it,
you do what?
I don't just be dating girls just to be dating and hanging out.
Okay, so hold on, now time out. So if you had 2 boyfriends,
then I just be sticking and moving.
How many niggas you dated?
Sticking and moving.
How many niggas you've dated and been serious about?
I dated.
The current one? Wait, what?
Who?
Bitch.
Then this one.
Bitch.
Oh, 3.
Another one from Louisiana.
Cool.
Okay, wait. There was the one that was right after Louisiana. Right after Lafayette.
Right after him was the one last September. We talked for like a month and a half.
Okay. Did you count him?
I didn't, but I did.
Okay.
So 3. I've dated like 3 men. Outside of relationships.
3 in between the...
No, 3 in general. Outside of my 2 boyfriends, I've dated...
So from the 10-year to the 4-year, that was 6 years.
In between there.
And how many niggas were you dating?
In between
I wasn't dating. I just started back dating last September. I hadn't been on a date in 3 years.
So you had just been fucking a lot.
I had just been sticking and moving.
What? Or getting stuck.
No. Sticking and moving.
There's some more. Said you need to go home and make a list.
No, well, we can count when we finish.
Bitch, yes, bitch. When we get stopped, bitch, we gonna count.
Anyway, that's the end of today's episode. Make sure you send your questions in at ratedmapodcast@gmail.com for your fan questions. Also, click my link at thick_n_savage for our t-shirts and merch line. Retired Savage and I'm Just Trying to Cuddle and Get 8. If you want your shirts, get your shirts. Good night.
Bye.